ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। So we were in the topic of Atmanah, samvidah Atmatva-upapattih. Okay, samvid is the Atma. So here, of course, we have had a lot of discussion. Finally, here one question the Purva Pakshi is asking, because the discussion is about whether Atma is just Jnana Swarupa or Atma is a Jnatru. Okay, Jnatritvam is there in Atma. So Atma is a knower, or Atma is simply of the nature of consciousness or knowledge. Now here the Purva Pakshi is asking, this Jiva, you are saying, is a Chetana, correct? He is a conscious being, correct? Jiva is a conscious being, conscious entity or sentient being, we can say. In that Jiva, this knowership is there or not? Whether Jiva is a knower or not, you tell me now, finally. Okay, nanu kim chetanasya jivasya jnatritvam astiva nava. Now, if you say this jnatritvam is there, then you are, whatever you are saying now, that Samvit itself is Atma is gone, because it has now become a knower, correct? So Adye tava mata pataha, your whatever mata, whatever you are proposing, your opinion will be rejected. Okay. Otherwise, if you say no, Jiva is not a knower, then if Jiva is not a knower, how can something which is superimposed on this Jiva, how can it become the knower? That is the question, because you are saying Antakarana is Jada anyway, correct? Jada Antakarana cannot be the knower. And you are saying Jiva also is not knower, who is Chaitanya. Then who is the knower? Okay, so he is saying Dvitiye Jivasya Eva Avidyamanam Nyatritvam. So the Nyatritvam which is not there in the Jiva, Katam tad adhyastasya ahankarasya bhavitum arhati, because how can it then be there in the ahankara? Because ahankara itself is there in the mind, you are saying, which is Antakarana, and Antakarana itself is Jada. So who is the knower? So here what do we say? Okay, if you raise like this, Ma evam, it is not in this manner. Why? We say Suryasya iva chetanasya prakashkatvam asti. Okay, like the Surya has brightness, of course, that is physical brightness. This Chetana also has brightness, but that is alaukika prakasha, we say, okay, or abhautika prakasha. It is not physical light, but it is the light of consciousness. Both have prakashakatvam, the light. Both are shining, let us say. And also in the case of Surya, what tacha Surya pratibimba grahanad darpanasya yatha bhavati. So the darpana, the mirror which can reflect the Surya. So it gets the reflection, and also it itself becomes bright, correct? It is able to brighten up things. The mirror can reflect light and light up a place. Okay. Like that. Tatha Chetana Pati Chetana Pratibimba Grahanat Ahankarasya Bhavati. So, because the Ahankara itself is the Chetana Pratibimba, or Chidabhasa, we say, Abhasa. The Jiva itself is a Chaitanya Abhaka, only like that Bhashyakara says. If you take the Chandogya Upanishad Bhashya, or even in the Gita Bhashya also it is there. I think 1850. So, but in all these places, one more point we should add, it is Abhasa Vat. Literally, if you take it as Abhasa or Pratibimba and all that, then also there is a problem. Okay, how can this Brahman be reflected? What is the reflecting media, etc.? There will be more questions. So, we have to, or how is this even, see, in one place Bhashyakara has negated that Pratibimba in the Pravesha Shruti. Because if it is all pervasive, how can it even be reflected anywhere? Because it is already there. So you cannot say it has entered as a reflection. That also Bhashyakara doesn't say. But finally he says Chet Pratibimba Vat. It is as though like a Pratibimba we have to say. It appears or it is available. So like that, this Chetana appears, manifests, and it is available in the Ahankara. And that Chaitanyam which is available as the Ahankara is the knower. Okay, Chetana Pratibimba Grahanat Ahankarasya Bhavati. Okay. Bhavati here is what? This Jnatritvam Bhavati, correct? In fact, even in the case of Surya, if you go and ask Surya, are you like brightening up the earth? Because you are the cause of all the activities on the earth. You are the cause of the lotus blooming. All this, if you say, Surya will say, no, no, I am not doing anything. Because shining is its very nature, correct? It's not really doing anything. In its presence, something is happening. You can attribute it to that presence. Like that, Chetana by itself cannot even claim any knowership. It doesn't really say that I am a knower and all that. Then who says I am a knower means the Pratibimba. Ahankara says I am the knower, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. Kartritvam, Bhoktritvam and all is there in the Upahita Chaitanya only, not in Shuddha Chaitanya. Like that, even for the Surya, by itself it doesn't do anything. Okay, even though you may impute some prakasha, whatever, prakasha itritvam. Prakasha itritvam itself, that trich doesn't really have any meaning there. Understand that. Because sun is not doing anything, it is being as it is. Its very nature is to be shining. It is not shining as an activity. Understand that. Like that. But you can say that a mirror, which is basically directing the sunlight to a particular location, is making something shine. Correct? So the Pratibimba Surya is the one who is shining something, lighting up something, etc. So this is the analogy. Up to this we can go, we can stress the analogy and understand. It is like this. Okay, so then what? Sacha Atma Anupravesha Labdha Chaitanyaha Ahankaraha Sarvam Vishayam Avabhasayan Ahangraha Purvakam Avabhasayati. Okay, so here what we are saying is, in the presence of Chaitanya, three things are there. The Jnata is also there, Jnayam also is there, Jnanam as Vrittik Jnanam takes place. So this Triputi itself is there in the presence of this Chaitanya only. So that's what we are saying. This Atma, Anupravesha, even here also, our author also is talking about Anupravesha, correct? Because the Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravishya, like that it is there in the Chandogya. So, in the form of this Jivatma only, this Brahman or Sad Vastu has entered, means it is available, or it is entered like as though a Abhasa. So, this Abhasa having entered means it has now gained Chaitanyam, Labdha Chaitanyaha, whatever Chaitanya which is manifesting in the Antakarana is the knower, and that first recognizes itself, correct? That is the Ahankaraha. That's what he is saying. Ahangraha Purvakam. So Ahangraha first you know yourself, I am, and then you know this also. Okay, so you start cognizing this. So both I and this are there. So in that, the ahankara is the one which cognizes oneself, and all this and all is then all only manovritti again, correct? It is all mind onwards. Through the mind only the entire this is coming to you. So it is all manovritti. So like this, both are there. So this, in this manner, the ahankara is the one who is seeing everything. All the manovrittis, the sakshi for that is the ahankara. So chaitanyaha ahankaraha sarvam vishayam avabhasayan. So lighting up everything, ahangraha purvakam avabhasayati. So it shines as I also, it shines as all the things which are, or which is shining, then it shines on everything which is available as this. Okay, then what? Atma tu kevalam avabhasayati, but Atma is like the sun. Its very nature is to shine. It is not doing any activity. Understand that. That is the idea here. So it cannot be a Jnatru. It is Jnana Swarupa. So it is Kevalam Avabhasayati. It is simply shining. Ata eva Samanyakarena Sarva Avabhasakaha Atma. So in general, Atma is the one who is shining everything. Okay. Who is lighting up everything. Samanya Akarena in general. But Vishesha Akarena Sarva avabhasakastu ahankara aham padarthaha ahankaraha. But specifically, a particular thing becomes evident, correct? There, the ahankara is the one to whom a particular object becomes evident, because ahankara is the chaitanya which is manifest in a particular antakarana. So, antakarana upahita chaitanyam is what we call pramatra, correct? The antakarana vritti upahita chaitanyam is the pramana. Then there is a Vishaya Upahita Chaitanyam also, we say. When all these three things are in alignment, we say that Jnanam takes place, Pratyaksha takes place, all these things. So, the everywhere only Chaitanyam is manifest, really speaking. But the specific Vishaya, that becomes evident to the Ahankara. But in general, all Ahankaras are shined upon by the same Chaitanya. Correct? Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata, like that Bhagavan says. So there is only one Chaitanya. The Pratibimba is available everywhere. And for the Pratibimba, specific Vishayas are getting lighted up, are becoming evident. So in that manner, Vishesha Akarena Sarva Avabhasakaha tu Aham Padartaha Ankaraha. So if you take a specific cognition, that shines to a particular Antakarana Upahita Chaitanya, which is the Aham Padartaha or Ahankaraha. Tasmat Jivasya Vidyamanam Prakashakatvam Eva Tad Adhyastasya Ahankarasya Agam. Okay, Ahankarasya Agam. So, whatever is the Prakashakatvam, the nature of the Jiva, that alone, it is Anyonya Adhyasa, we say, correct? So, the Jiva Chaitanya is now taken as the Ahankara Chaitanya. That is the Anyonya Adhyasa. The Atma Dharma is now taken as the Dharma of the Ahankara or the Antakarana. That is fine. That happens in any Anyonya Adhyasa. So therefore, Tadeva Prakashakatvam Ahangraha Purvakam Sat Ahankarasya Jnatritvam iti Uchyate iti. Okay. So that Prakashakatvam only, whatever here Prakashakatvam is really Chaitanyam only. Okay, Chaitanatvam. It is there in the Ahankara, which is cognizing itself first as I, and then it knows everything else. So the Jnatritvam is there in the Ahankara. Ahankarasya Jnatritvam comes due to this Anyonya Adhyasa. So there is no problem in explaining this for us. Okay. So therefore, what do we say? Yetena yatha atma sarvam prakashayati tatha sabhasa hankaraha api sarvam prakashayati eva. So from this, what do we understand? That since Atma is the one which is lighting up everything, the Abhasa also, the Ahankara, is the one which is also lighting up everything. Whatever becomes evident to it, all those things, it is lighted up by this ahankara. We can say that because through the ahankara only Atma itself becomes a knower. It is not a knower by itself. Then what? Parantu sabhasa ahankaraha sarvam prakashayan aham idam janami iti pratyeti. But the another thing is what? The ahankara not only knows everything, like pot is, but not only that, but there is also I know the pot. Correct. Ghataha asti is one thing. Ghata asti iti aham janami. Also there is. So that is anuvyavasaya and all they say, the Nayayikas. So these two cognitions are there. Do they take place at the same time, or one cognition becomes the Vishaya of this another cognition? That is aham janami iti cognition. For that, the Ghataha asti cognition becomes the Vishaya. Like this, there is a big discussion. Understand that. But if you if you say that the anuvyavasaya happens through another cognition, then it will lead to anavastha. There is a problem. Okay, that's why for the Vedantin, both these things are happening at the same time. Understand that. That is the Sakshi Chaitanyam. When the Sakshi is lighting up, these two things take place at the same time because those two are there in the Manovritti itself. Both the Gataha Asti, Gatah Maham Janami, they are all there together in the mind, in the Manovritti itself, and it gets lighted up at the same time by the Sakshi. Therefore, there is no gap or anything there. Both are there. But the Ahankara is the one which cognizes that I know. Atma is simply only shining. It doesn't have any cognition that I know this or I know that. Even if nothing is not there, it is shining. Pashyanneva na pashyati. Like that Brihadaranyaka says, correct? So this janami iti pratyeti, aham janami iti pratyeti, that is basically the ahankara. Therefore, what atayeva ahankarasya jnatritvam agatam atmanastu jnanatvam eva iti siddham. So finally he is saying what? Therefore, that's why we say ahankara is the knower, but atma is only jnana swarupa, jnapti swarupa. This is very clear. So from this, what do we say? Nacha atma eva aham janami iti pratyeti na ahankaraha iti vachyam. But even if we say this, what Purva Pakshi is saying? No. Atma only says aham janami. How can you say that ahankara is saying that? Ahankara is not saying that. That is the Purva Pakshi. Means na vachyam. You can't say that. Why? Anvaya vyatireka nyayat ahankaraha eva tatha pratyeti na atma iti जागर स्वप्नयोः अहंकार सत्वात् अहम जानामि इति प्रत्यय सत्वं सुषुप्त्यादौ तु तद अभावात् तद अभावः इति. So now what we are using the अन्वय व्यतिरेक न्याय. Whenever the ahankara is there, then only aham janami is there. And when is the ahankara present? In jagrat and swapna, in waking state and in dream, ahankara is there. Of course, same ahankara may not be there. Your waking individuality is different, dream individuality is different. That's why I always say, don't take your individuality very seriously. Although there seems to be a continuity of the individuality in waking, but the waking individuality completely gets replaced in dream, correct? It's not at all there. And in deep sleep also, it is not cognized. So individuality is only, it's not intrinsic to you. It is something which is coming and going. You should be able to see it. That is the most difficult thing. Seeing the manas and this ahankara and your very individuality as mithya is the main thing. That is the greatest tyaga. Yena tyajati tat tyaja. Like that the Mahabharata says in the Moksha Dharma. With your ahankara only you give up everything. But finally, if you still keep on holding on to it, then what is the point? Jnanam, when jnana takes place, it also washes away this idea that I am an individual. Because the individuality is not intrinsic to me. That has to be clearly seen. Once you clearly see that, then that's it. There is no question of Atma being a knower or a ego or whatever. Correct? A limited individual. All these things are this limitation in terms of being an individual conscious being is there only in Jagrat and Swapna, and that is the Ahankara, correct? Identifying with a particular body mind sense complex. But when that is not there in Sushupti or Sushuptyadau, he is saying, then we have to add Samadhi, etc. Then Tad Abhava. So Aham Janami is not there in Sushupti or Samadhi. Therefore, what? This it is there only when the Ahankara is there. It is not there when the Ahankara is not there. Means we have to attribute it to only Ahankara, not the Atma. So Jnatritvam is there only when the Ahankara is there. Therefore, what do we say? Tasmat sabhasa ahankaraha ahamartaha eva jnata. So whatever, even though Atma is jnata, you are saying, basically the Atma there, you are meaning Ahankara only as Atma, correct? But what we are saying is the Atma is the Paramatma, really speaking, not even the Jivatma. Although Jivatma is Paramatma, we say, from when looked at as the Jnana Swarupa. So what you are saying as Atma is really the Ahankara only you are meaning as Atma, that is the Jnata. And whatever the Atma, Paramatma, maybe, Natu Atma, that is not the knower, really. Tatu Drik Rupaha eva iti. It is only the Drik Rupa, Drik Swarupa. It is of the very nature of the seer. Okay. It doesn't see real. Although we say Drashtuhu, Drishtahe and all it is talked about. It is the seer of the sight. Correct? But that seerness or whatever is not, it is only in terms of being conscious. Okay. Being present. Okay, so once we say this, what? Now he is coming back. What? Nanu Vishaya Avabhasakatvam Atmanaha Sampratipannam. Okay, Atma shines on all the Vishayas. Okay, it lights up. That is fine. That we accept. Purva Pakshi is saying. But that is what we call as Jnatritvam, he says. Tadeva Jnatritvam iti asmad abhipretam iti chet ma evam. So Vishaya Avabhasakam, you are saying Atma as Vishaya Avabhasaka and still say it is Jnana. But we are saying Vishaya Avabhasaka only is the Jnatritvam itself. And you are not correct. You say that Atma is the one which lights up everything. But you say it is not knower. What is this? Like this they are asking means what you say it's not like that. Already we explained, again he is explaining. What is that? Jnanasyapi Vishaya Avabhasakatvam Sammatameva iti. See, there is no rule that if something is shining and lights up everything, it has to be only a doer. In fact, this interesting argument comes in the Brihadaranyaka somewhere recently only. I think it comes in the Swayanjyoti Brahmanam only, 4.3. So the Trich Pratyaya, does it always mean that there is a doership? There is a analysis. Then Bhashyakara says no. In some cases, the Trich can come as a upachara. And he gives examples for that and says even the Prakashayitra is like that really. Just because there is a Trich Pratyaya, this Trich Pratyaya is there, it doesn't become a somebody who is doing something there, correct? So the Jnatritvam need not be there. It can be shining. It is because its nature is to shine. It's not doing it as an activity or anything. And in that light, things are getting lighted up, but that doesn't mean that it is a jnata. So jnanasya api vishaya avabhasakatvam sammatam eva. Even for the jnana, the vishaya avabhasakatvam is acceptable. But let us say, let us go along with you. Okay, you are saying if it is shining on some objects, then it has to be only a jnata. Even that is acceptable to us in one way, in the vyavahara. Okay, that's what he is going to say. Say kincha vishaya avabhasakatvam jnatritvam iti. Swikarepi kim vastutaha atmanaha jnatritvam abhipraishi kim va vyavaharataha. Okay. Now let us say whoever is lighting up an object is a knower. In that case also, you are saying this is the ultimate reality, or this is provisional, or it is empirical. Okay, it is just in vyavahara. So it is paramartha or vyavahara. Tell us. Now, na adyaha. It cannot be in paramartha. Why? In the paramartha, there is nothing else to even light up. Correct? There is no second thing. So vastutaha vishaya abhavena. Correct? Vishaya abhava abhavena. Okay, Vishayanam eva abhavena. Okay, here it is. I read it wrongly. So, Vastutaha Vishayanam eva abhavena kutaha tat prakashakatvam atmanaha iti. So, in Paramartha, the Vishayas themselves are not there. Then what, where is the question of lighting up anything and all that? So, it doesn't even arise. In the second case, Dvitiyaha, in Vyavahara it is fine. Ishtaha eva, we don't mind. Why? Because ahankara tadatmya adhyasena hi bhavati jnata pratyagatma. So even in the vyavahara, if you say pratyagatma is the jnata, that is fine because that is again upadhikam. Because the ahankara tadatmya adhyasa is there. The ahankara upadhi, through the ahankara upadhi only, atma as though becomes the knower. The pratyagatma, the innermost self, appears as a knower, which is fine. We don't mind that. Okay, if we say this, what now they are coming back. He is saying, what nacha विषय प्रकाशकत्वं ज्ञानत्वम् इति अभ्युपगमे कथम आत्मनः वस्तुतः ज्ञानस्वरूपत्वम् इति वाच्यम्. Okay. See, he is now asking, see, if you say, we initially said, correct, jnanasyapi vishaya avabhasakatvam sammatameva, like that. So he is now saying, vishaya prakashatvam is jnanatvam, you are saying. But this vishaya prakashakatvam is not there all the time also, you are saying. Because vishayas themselves are not there in Paramartha. Then in Paramartha, it cannot also be Jnanam. He's coming, he's making a different kind of inference here. Okay. In Paramartha, then Atma cannot be even Jnana because Vishaya Prakashakatvam is not there in Paramartha. You can't say that. Okay, that also Navachyam. Why? Vastutaha ityasya atra adhyasa abhavaha iti artha. So what do we mean by Vastutaha? Means when the adhyasa is not there. Okay, that is what we mean by Vastutaha. So, Vyavahara Dashayam Eva Atmanaha Vastavam Rupam Jnanam. So, only even see, even to say, see, even the Lakshanas like Satyam Jnanam Anantam, all these things are only from the Vyavahara Dasha, correct? Atma is Lakshya. We use all these Lakshanas, and that is also as a teaching device. So, in the Vyavahara only, even this, all these Lakshanas are there. In Paramartha, in fact, in the Brihadaranyaka Bhashya, in one place, Bhashyakara even says, even the word Atma is not required. Why do you even require any word? To know yourself, you don't require any word, correct? You are the self. You don't have to define yourself or know yourself through words, etc. I am there even if there are no words, correct? That is the beauty. So, so what we are saying is all this jnana, etc. These things, whatever we use, is all only in vyavahara. Then ahankara tadatmya adhyasa prayuktatvena, okay, avastavam aupadikam tu jnatritvam. So this jnatritvam, etc., is only basically aupadikam, he is saying. Okay, it is all ahankara tadatmya adhyasa. And therefore, what? Even if the jnatritvam goes, we just say it is jnana swarupa, just to say that it is not jada. But even this jnana swarupatvam and all that is also only, it is only a teaching in the vyavahara. In Paramartha, we don't have to use any word. But here what we are pointing is, even you accept that This Manusyoham is an adhyasa. So we always go back to this whenever the Vishishtadvaitin talks anything about adhyasa, they also have to accept that Manushyatvam is aham manushyaha iti pratiti is erroneous. But you say aham jnata is satyam. For them, aham jnata is aham janami is satyam. Aham manushyaha is brahma, is adhyasta. So you accept that. We say that even aham janami also is adhyasta only. So yatha tava matepi atmanaha vastavam rupam jnatritvam deha tadatmya adhyasa prayuktatvena avastavam aupadikam tu manushyatvam iti tadvate. So you say manushyatvam is it's due to it is aupadika and due to tadatma adhyasa, but jnatritvam is satyam. That is vastavam rupam. Similarly, we are saying jnatritvam is aupadikam, vastavam rupam is only jnanam, jnana swarupa. But even all these things are only in vyavahar. We have to understand that. So yetena paramartha dashayam atma jnana swarupam swarupopi na bhavati. From this, what do we say? In the paramartha, you don't even have to say that atma is jnana swarupa and all that. Okay, why? Because vishaya prakashakatva lakshana jnanatva abhava. So there is no vishaya prakashakatvam etc. in paramartha. There are no vishayas only. So if you take it like that, even that jnanatvam is not required in atma. Atma is atma. It is as it is. Yetena siddham. This is established. In fact, he says that's why ata eva yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha iti shruti upapadyate. Okay, so this is the Taittiriya Shruti, from where both the words and mind return. Okay, without obtaining it. Okay, they cannot objectify this atma. Atma is neither the word of meaning of any one word, nor can it be objectified by your mind. It is really pratyagatma. It is the innermost, and it is the one which is due to which all this mind and vak, everything becomes evident. Therefore, this is fine. In Paramartha, you don't even have to say Atma is Jnana Swarupa. Jnana Swarupa and all we have to say because because you are taking the Jada as Atma, correct? To differentiate, we have to do that Viveka first. So here, Shrutihi Upapadyate Vang Manasa, okay. Vang Manasa Avishayatvam Atmanaha Bruvanaha. So this Shruti is telling about the Avishayatvam of Atma with reference to Vak and Manas. Okay. Nahi Jnana Swarupe Satyatmanaha Jnanam Atma iti Pratipadeyitam Shrutehe Asti Kopi Badhaha Ata Evacha Jnanadipadanam Lakshanaya Brahma Pratipadakatvam iti Uktam. Okay. See, even though Atma is Jnana Swarupa, correct? Jnana Swarupe Sati, being the Jnana Swarupa, we don't have to even really reveal the Atma as Jnanam. You don't have to use any word and all that. So, na pratipadayitum, or so pratipadayitum shrutehe asti kopi badaha. So, the Shruti doesn't have any, basically, it need not positively reveal. This is another thing. Okay, what is this teaching? Whether there is positive revelation of Atma, negative revelation of Atma, all this, there are a lot of discussions. Both are required to teach. Okay. But what we understand is all these so-called positive lakshanas basically also are there only to negate some wrong notions which you have. And after negating all the wrong notions, finally what neti neti we say, that is because whatever you think is Atma, You cannot anyway objectify it. So that's why neti neti basically is the final apavada of everything. After it is the nisheda avadhi. Finally, that is all correct. Once you negate everything, still whatever remains, that is the Atma. And at that point, you don't have to really do anything. Neither you have to negate, nor you have to give any other lakshana. Once you have understood that, then that is all it is there. Okay. So, this, you don't have to say that Atma is really Jnanam or even Atma is Atma. Even the word Atma also is not required. Therefore, so this Atma is Atma. It remains as it is. Finally, we have to say it is beyond all words and mind. Atayevacha jnanadi padanam lakshanaya brahma pratipadakatvam iti uchyate. That's why even the jnana, etc., the words are all only lakshana. They are all revealing words. Once they have revealed Brahman to you, their work is over. You don't have to keep holding on to jnana word or anything. Understand that. So that is what we are saying. So the whatever that jnana word reveals, it has revealed the Atma to you through that. And it is also gone. It has resolved with that. That is why we use that alum and all as an example, correct? So alum is used as a purifier in water, let us say. But it settles the impurities. It also settles itself and goes away. You don't need to have alum still in water, correct? Like that, all these lakshana, whatever words are used, they have a certain force. They come and remove certain wrong notions. In the process, the Atma is clear now. And then they go away. They don't have to be, you don't have to keep holding on to them or anything. So they are all only lakshana. They are all only revealing words. Once they have done their job, they go away. So lakshanaya brahma pratipadakatvam. So the Brahman is revealed through lakshana, through these words. That much only they are useful. So evam tadidam iti nirdeshtum ashakyatva neti neti iti nisheda vidhaya avadhibhutam brahma tatparya vritya shruteyaha pratipadayamasu. So in this manner, what the thing is, you see, even in the Brihadaranyaka, in the third chapter, the one person comes, there is a Yajnavalkya is discussing with different Brahmanas. He says, why can't you teach this Atma as like this is cow, this is horse, like this, why can't you show me this Atma? Even then, what Yajnavalkya says, he is saying it is pranasya prana, things like that only he is saying that. Because there is no other way to reveal this Atma because it is not an object, correct? Nedam edidam upasate. Yen manasana manute yena hurmanomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam edidam upasate. We have to say that. So it cannot be taught in any other way. Finally, you have to teach it as neti neti because you negate all the entire objective world. With that, the status of being subject also is negated. Understand that. And then after that, whatever is left behind is you. You are that Atma. And that you or Atma doesn't even anymore require any more words or anything. Understand? So, that's why he's saying Avadhi Bhutam here also, correct? Nishedha Avadhi, we say. That is what. So, you do Nishedha, you negate Neti, Neti, Neti. Neti, Neti, two times it is there because you negate everything which is tangible. You also negate everything which is intangible or everything which is known, everything which is unknown also. Everything you negate with two Netis. And after negating everything, the negator also is gone because there is no need to negate anything anymore. Even after the negator is gone, whoever is left is the Atma. Atma is neither the negator also. Understand that. Once all negation is done, negator also goes away. So the Avadhi, after that, whatever is there. avadibhutam brahma tatparyavritya. That is the tatparya of the Shruti. That is how the Shruti's tatparya is acting there. And in this manner, Sutayaha Pratipadaya Masu, they are revealing. And that is what is said in the Bhagavata also, he say. Taduktam Shrutayastvayihi Phalayanti. Okay, Atan Nirasanena Bhavan Nidhanaha iti Bhagavate Vyasena. So the Shrutis also in the Bhagavata are revealing you in this manner only. Okay, it cannot reveal in any other manner. And I like our this Bellangonda always quotes Bhagavata to deal with all these Vaishnavas, correct? Because they think that Bhagavata is the one which is really revealing their Siddhanta and all that. But really speaking, Bhagavata, the first verse itself is very, very much Advaita. Okay, it starts with Janmatyasya Yataha, like that. So there only you can understand that it is only revealing Advaita. In so many other places, in fact, in some of the online sources, which are all Dvaitin, they simply don't even translate the Advaita Para verses. All wherever they are happy, they translate all those things. In fact, we have no problem with those verses. Any any verse which may be implying Dvaita is not a problem, because in Vyavahara we accept Dvaita. But once Advaita comes, they simply ignore it. And I even heard that they have added some 3 chapters, and there they have something they have done. Okay, they have introduced certain new things, and then they claim that this is our Siddhanta and all that. I don't know how true that is. But this Bhagavata quotation, I like. Okay, so Bhagavata also is saying the same thing. So, Atan Nirasanena, whatever is not there, all that is Nirasa is done. And then after that, what is left is you. Correct? That's how Shruti also is revealing like that. Even in the Bhagavata itself, it is said by Vyasa. So, then what to talk about? Anything else? Okay, once we say this, what they come back, he's saying, Nanu vidhi mukhena nisheda mukhena chad vidha vedantanam brahmani pravritti hiti Shankara-Charyahi eva uktamiti katham tvaya vidhi mukhena pravrittihi nirasyate iti chen ma evam. So now they are saying, even Shankaracharya himself is saying that they are both vidhimukha and nishedamukha. Okay, this Atma has been, or the Vedantas are revealing Brahman in 2 ways. But you are saying, no, it is not vidhimukha, but even the vidhimukha pravritti is negated. Means what do we say? It's not like what you say. We are not contradicting Shankara. What we are saying is what Yavad Vyavaharam Brahmani Vishaya Prakashakatva Lakshana Tatra Ahamarthas Purana. So, till the Vyavahara is there, in Brahman also we accept the Vishaya Prakashakatvam. Okay, that Lakshana is there. It is Brahman is characterized by that as that which is shining on everything. Yata prakashayatye kritsnam lokam imam ravihi kshetram kshetri tata kritsnam prakashayati bharata. Like that, even in the Gita it is said, correct? Prakashayati and all is used with reference to kshetri or Brahman. So we accept that. So tatra ahamartha spuranat also. The ahamartha, aham is still there. I am the one who is bound. I am the one who is seeking moksha. As long as I am the seeker of moksha, all these things, this vidhi mukhena and all is fine. But then what? Nahi jagara swapnayoho iva sushuptau aham janami iti vyavahara. But in sushupti there is no aham janami also. Ahankara is not there. Therefore, tasmad aham arthasya ahankarasya chetana sanidhyena Chetana तादात्म्याध्यासात् चेतनत्वलाभः इति कृत्वा स्वतः जडोपि अहङ्कारश्चेतनः एव इति. I think it is again repeating here. Sorry. This is 116. Is it the correct one? Okay, 117 only. Okay, he is saying again the same thing. Basically, he is saying what in Jagrat and Swapna, there is no aham janami is there. But in Sushupti, it is not there. Okay, so the Chetana Tadatmya and all, wherever it is there only we have to talk about Prakashanam, etc. When Chaitanya is by itself, then even you don't even have to say that it is lighting up something, etc. So even the Ahankara, even though it is Jada, we have a Vyavahara that it is Chetana, and therefore we say that the Ahankara is having the Vishaya Prakashakatvam, etc. Or the Chaitanya itself, through the Ahankara, is having the Vishaya Prakashakatvam, being the Upahita Chaitanya, that we are able to accept. But more than that, in Paramartha, we don't have to have all these words, etc. That's all we are saying. Okay, so we are not contradicting Adi Shankara. All these words are required. They are all Lakshana to reveal the Lakshya. But once the Lakshya is revealed, also we don't have to hold on to all that. Once the Lakshya is revealed, only Neti Neti, Neti Neti only describes that Turiya Avastha, we have to say. Okay, so we'll continue this in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.